It's the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Indiana facing the Bulls.
Boys, nice run.
So Indiana wins the tip. All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the court right now for the Pacers. Jackson is out there with Artest. Then it's Paul George. Then it's McGinnis. And it's Smits in at center. Now here is Artest. Paul George unable to get his shot to go.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
Now here's George. Takes the 13-footer and good. He got the English that time as it falls.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Here's Haywood. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and they'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Jackson kicks to Artest. Misses the 3.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
The drive by Jackson and the dunk by Jackson.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Jackson against White. Here's George. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. Free throw good. Paul George. And both free throws good for Paul George.
And it's been a really good day for him at the line. Some other bigs have well-documented problems on their free throws. He's not one of them.
And it's White missing. Chicago on defense. Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. And they double up Jackson. Pass to McGinnis. That's tipped. Outside White. Here's Russell, and Bill Russell slams it in.
And guys, that's his game. I mean, battling in the paint and cashing in on those second chance opportunities.
And Greg cashing in hard. I mean, man, oh man, he puts an exclamation point on that dunk.
Yes.
Guys, that's the only way he knows how to do it. Soft, I don't even think is in his vocabulary.
That's another miss. Already they've missed 3 out of 4 to start. This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
McGinnis against Haywood. Outside for Artest. McGinnis with the screen on Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. Jackson comes over with the double. Here's Smits. And too long on the shot.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
The open shot, Artest. And it's Chicago with the rebound. And White kicks to Russell. Jackson from long range. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
There's a good screen. Jackson kicks to George. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. That's 7 points for Paul George. And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
And really, whether you're up or down, it's a game of adjustments.
Always. And having a good coach is critically important. I mean, you need somebody you can count on to make the right adjustment.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Now here's Brown. Back to Porzingis. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. Indiana trails by 6. Jackson kicks to Rose. Rose, a screen on Brown. And they double up Jackson. The dish to Stevenson. And Hibbert the bucket on the assist from Stevenson. 1:02 left here in the opening quarter. And the dunk by Porzingis.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And so it's Indiana with it. After Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. And they pick up 2.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Stojakovic the pass to Divac. And here's Anthony for 3. It's rebounded by Roy Hibbert. Indiana trails by 4. Outside Rose. Back to Stevenson. Offensive rebound. Hibbert. Divac with some nice D. Anthony drives in. Up and in with the jumper near the hoop.
Well, he doesn't waste too many of those chances close to the basket.
Jackson dishes to Stevenson. Pass to Hibbert. Over Divac. No good, and tight defense there bothered that shot. And so it's Chicago with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. And we'll be right back after this. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And before... Chicago leading by 6. Anthony is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Stojakovic. Then there's Brown. And it's Divac in at the center position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Jackson with it. Feeds it to Hibbert inside. And the basket by Stevenson.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there. Dead on target.
Brown against Jackson. A pass to Porzingis. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. The Bulls shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
At the line, Carmelo Anthony.
That free throw, no good. Davis is checked in for Roy Hibbert. And he's good on the second. Indiana trails by 7. And here's Jackson. Stevenson outside. Davis setting the pick for Stevenson. Here's Person. That falls. Nice feed that time from Stevenson. Person's got himself on the board with 3 there.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Sometimes, for whatever reason, a lot of times you don't know why. It takes a little while to work the knots out, but it looks like they're putting it together right now.
Jackson up top. He's covered by Brown. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. For Indiana, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. And he makes the first. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Then for the Pacers, Paul George comes in for Person. And it's our test in for Lance Stevenson. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Jackson kicks to George. Stolen by Jackson. Here's Haywood. And slam dunk by Haywood.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Bulls.
They've set the first half tone by getting out on the fast break and getting the defenders on their heels.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
Russell kicks to Haywood. Outside Artest. Pick by Haywood. Artest, good.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
George passes to Smits. And yes, it's good.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
Well, it was a slow start, but they've gone from simmer to medium heat, and they're bordering on hot to close this gap.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Rose, he's checked in for Indiana. The Bulls shooting their 5th free throw of the game here. Now the pass to McGinnis. Back to Rose. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Here's the screen to the wing right side. Just 4 to shoot. And it's Artest missing. The Bulls leading by 5. And White kicks to Haywood. Out to White. Over Rose. And the Bulls with another miss.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Here's Smits. He's guarded by Russell. Offensive rebound. Here's Artest. Drills the three-pointer. Artest's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And Chicago has possession. Their biggest lead of the game was 9.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Pass to McGinnis. Outside, George. Tipped away. Stolen by Artest. Here's Jackson. He can't hit that time. Great D that time from Artest. Indiana trailing here. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And it's sent back by Russell. Outside Jackson. To the wing on the left. And White kicks to Haywood. Back to White. Down low. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Paul George really... Chicago leading on the court for Indiana. We've got McGinnis. Jackson is out there with Artest. Then it's Paul George, and it's Smits in at the 5. Jackson has the open look, and it's off from three-point range. Jackson's gone 2 of 5 from the floor. Artest the pass to Smits for the tie. McGinnis' shot is off.
And as he squares up from mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooter there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. Looked like he forced the shot.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And the foul goes against Chicago. For Indiana, they have been perfect so far from the free throw line, 6 for 6. So we can't get either to fall. Chicago with the ball. The lead is 2. The basket counts, and 1 will go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play. Chicago shooting their 6th attempt at the charity stripe in the game. And the free throw, no good. Indiana trails by 4. George passes to McGinnis. Indiana moving the ball around. Here's Smits. Outside for George. Off target from 3-point range.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
White, good.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
Pass to Smits. Makes it off the glass. Smits has got his 2nd basket.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, just a real lack of aggressiveness there right now. I mean, can't give up these types of layups to begin the quarter, Greg. I mean, that's a no-no.
So both teams changing it up here. Chicago leading by 4. Here's Porzingis. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
Excellent awareness there, zipping the ball over to the perfect spot to score.
Pass to Person. Hibbert with the screen. Person kicks to Hibbert. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
And Porzingis, here we go. Anthony, terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Trickeration. I like that, partner. That's pretty strong word creation. And you've got to be creative, though, whether you're commentating or hooping, especially when you're going inside.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, not a lot of effort put forth on defense there. I mean, I think he's definitely got to play up on him more and off the screen in that situation.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the 3rd quarter. Pick by West. From deep, Stevenson. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Off the screen. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. The Bulls leading by 4. On the wings to Jakovic. He's covered by Person.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
The Bulls have shot 67% from the line tonight, going 4-6. And some changes here for the Pacers. Williams, he's checked in for Hibbert. Davis comes in for David West. And Detlef Schrempf is subbed in for Person. Jackson kicks to Davis. Pick by Williams. Davis down low. He's against Porzingis. Here's Williams. Again, Indiana. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
Stevenson left side. Porzingis with the steal. And now the fast break. Anthony with the ball. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Well, I tell you what, they've got this team just a step away from being completely sleep.
And Davis, here we go. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. Chicago making some changes. Artest comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's White in for Brown. The Pacers also with a sub. Artest is checked in. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Terrific timing on that pass, placing it in a great spot, ideal spot where his teammate could score.
And Stevenson kicks to Davis. Williams a screen. Porzingis with the steal. Now the feed to Stojakovic. And the shot goes down. And now an 8-point Chicago lead. Here's Stevenson. He's got 5. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Williams a screen on Porzingis. Kicks it out to Stevenson. Five to shoot. Launches it. A shot off that time. Here's Artest. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. It's the Bulls up by 8. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play getting started. Indiana trails by 8. We've got White. He's out there with Jackson. Artest is out there with Russell. And it's Haywood in at the 4 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. White against George. Plays it up off the glass. George has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Indiana. The Bulls leading by 6. Now here's White, picked by Haywood. White drives in, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. McGinnis, who's checked in for Indiana. Jackson comes in for Detlef Schrempf. Now the Pacers with it. In the corner, George with it. Shoots the 3. And it's George again missing.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And that's a good place to start if you're going to try to find your way back into this game. Get to work on the glass.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
Outside Artest. And the pass to McGinnis. The stupendous finish in traffic.
And he has the chops for this, raising the intensity when it matters most.
Yeah, he's really calm in these situations. Simply takes his time in tight spots. You got to be patient, and he is playing to his strengths.
Jackson against White. They set the pick. Smits passes to McGinnis. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Kicks to White. Dishes it to Haywood. Fires the 3. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Indiana trails by 7. Jackson dishes to George. Pass to McGinnis. 18 feet out. Perfect on the shot. Swishes it through. McGinnis has got 6 here in this quarter.
And just great offensive execution by both sides, leaving nothing on the table.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Greg, both of these teams completely aligned in sync right now. I mean, they are torching the Nets late in this ball game.
And that's a smart foul there. Instead of giving up the easy deuce, send him to the line.
And he's not a very good foul shooter, so that's a heads-up play by the defense there.
Roy Hibbert's checked in for the Pacers. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Our test against George. 5 on the clock. Up again. It's all in by the Bulls. Russell's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. And Hibbert with the block. George against Artest. George passes to McGinnis. Here's Hibbert. That doesn't go either for Hibbert.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
It's good from long range.
That defense was totally lost. Don't know how you let a shooter get off such a clean look from beyond the arc. Come on, you got to pay attention.
George sets a screen for Jackson. George against Artest. That is good. And the Bulls' lead is cut down to 7 on the bucket from McGinnis.
Defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
Chicago calls timeout. They're ahead by 7. 1:14 left in the fourth quarter. A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Spencer Haywood.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1 option on every trip.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, during the last break, I heard Stan Van Gundy as he talked to his team. He told them the lead we've got is good, but we can be better. Take it to them. Stay on the accelerator. Looks like he wants them to keep pushing it, guys.
Thanks so much, David. Stolen by Jackson.
Not completely over, but it's getting close.
Yeah, this one is ready to be put on ice. Not a whole lot they can do from here. Great job getting to the right spot on the court. Beautiful passing all the way around.
And White kicks to Haywood. Right side, Russell. Now George. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's our test. It falls! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
Indeed it is. Love seeing him deliver when they need him most. No fear taking these shots. I love it.
And it's still within reach.
But they have to be really close to perfect from here on out. I mean, they have to get their offense right on target, right on point immediately.
Good on the first, and that narrows the gap to 1. And it's tied up with that one.
How fantastic was that? One mistake and the game's over, but he gets it done.
Jackson against White. He feeds it to Haywood, and stolen by Hibbert. Here's Jackson. Here's our test. Chicago calls timeout. Regulation now complete. We will go to overtime. We'll take a quick break, then get you back to the action. Well, if you're just joining us, this one has been a great one. We've got overtime action now, folks.
All right, ready to go? Ready to go?
And it's Chicago to start out. And away we go here with post-regulation basketball. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So for Chicago right now, Anthony is out there with Artest. Then there's Brown. Then there's Stojakovic. And it's Divac in at the 5, roaming the paint. Indiana trailing here. Jackson passes to McGinnis. Jackson against Brown. Jackson down low. From down in the low post, it goes.
Tell you what, fellas, he is fun to watch when he's working like that and getting to the hoop.
Devonts attacking. Outside, George to take the lead. It falls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
And it's Paul George with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. The defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
6 on the shot clock. Haywood gets the bucket. Haywood's got it all tied up now for Chicago. We play just over a minute here in OT. Jackson passes to Smits. Indiana moving the ball over. Here's McGinnis. And it's Russell with the rebound. Russell's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Hits it from three-point range. And now a 3-point Bulls lead.
Always got to patrol the three-point line. When you don't, you suffer the consequences.
Jackson dishes to George. Passes it to McGinnis. Shoots over Haywood. The shot's good from McGinnis. Well, a huge bucket there to stifle the crowd.
Yeah, very little to cheer about for them at the moment.
Haywood kicks to White. Shot clock at 5. Haywood in the post, covered by Artest. Russell kicks to Haywood. Jackson against White. Screened by Russell. White the pass to Russell. Nice hit again. Here's Artest. Connects from downtown.
Yeah, clearly a defensive lapse there. He is automatic from deep if you're going to leave him that wide open. Big time mistake.
Timeout called the Pacers. They're trailing by 4. 40 seconds left in the first overtime. Jackson, he's checked in for Chicago. Here's Jackson. Chicago grabs the miss. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. And they go to the intentional foul. Here's White. 2 points here might be all the cushion they need.
You would think so. This game is theirs for the taking.
And, you know, where was the defense there, Kevin? I mean, even though he missed it, that was not a good effort. Pitiful.
McGinnis. Yes!
Boy, I like seeing the ball get to that spot. It doesn't get much better than that.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yeah, they have to extend the game. I mean, plain and simple. Use every second you can on the clock here.
And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
And that makes it a 2-possession game now. Those could turn out to be vital free throws.
Time call here. Indiana decides to talk it over. They're behind by 4. 16 seconds left to play in the first overtime. What's your take, guys?
It's going to be interesting to see what they draw up to get this quick shot.
Whatever it is, got to be fast. I mean, can't waste any time at this point.
Just terrific determination. First, compiling the lead, and now building on it.
And that's what you want to do. I mean, you can't let the opposition off the hook here. I mean, you've got to keep adding to that lead.
Open shot, Artest. Off on that one. So the Bulls win it. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the extra period.
What a ride. I mean, I thought it might end in regulation, but you know what? They came through big and did exactly what was necessary once we got into OT.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.